So I'm currently at the mental health ward at Sunnybrook Hospital in Toronto. Um, my hair is a little weird right now, just because I'm designing it a certain way. But also, you know, seeing how things are moving with the culture. I guess you could say there's a lot of mental health issues, and just given my situation, I'll tell you what happened. So, I was at my grandmother's, and I think I went on a bike ride earlier. Went to Scarborough Town Center, looked at some clothes that I want, yada yada yada, and I came back to my grandmother's, and I was just in her balcony relaxing. And what happened? Someone called. Someone called. I'm just on my phone right now.
I'm gonna have to make my own phone.
So yeah, I was just, I was just making, I was just in my grandmother's balcony, just relaxing, and what happened? Somehow, um, sorry, my hair is looking real crazy right now. I look like I belong here. I look like I belong here. But anyway, like I was saying, give me one sec. So yeah, I was just dialoguing my progress here, and all I could say is that it's a little odd. Like obviously, there's some things that are unfair in the world, but I think there's a weird line between what's happening, what's going on, and what's really true and what's really fair. Like, let's consider this. I'm in the hospital because someone called police officers on me saying that I'm in risk of harming myself. Okay? And now, we live in a world where so many things could harm us. Okay? Earlier in the day, I went to Scarborough Town Center, as I was saying. I went to just to get some clothing. I also went on a bike ride. Uh, and what else? I went on a bike ride, ate some food, did some laundry, went back to my grandmother's and relaxed. Now, there's two sides of the story. There's a side that I tell, and then there's what's felt, okay? With what's felt, you gotta think of it like this. People probably don't want me to be around because of the possibility of me making money from the story of OJ. Jay-Z making a song saying he'll buy artwork for 1 million, and then there's a train of gossip going around that I can make a large sum of money. However, me going after the money at a later time in my life because of the information wasn't available, um, me finding out about it at a later time. Now, with that being said, people probably don't want me to be around because it's causing a lot of pressure. And there's that rumor that spread saying how I like to procreate with a bunch of different women. Um, so there's always that difficulty in me staying in here for a time not needed. Like for instance, I possibly lost my job. I can't work because someone called the police officers on me, and you can't really. The thing about this situation is that if someone calls the cops on you, because I was previously diagnosed with a mental health disorder, which wasn't my fault. People are saying, okay, he's hearing voices in his head. I don't know how someone could determine if another person's hearing voices in their head. Like, what determines another individual has mental health problems? As a mental health advocate, obviously, my duty is to learn about these things, but I think what's really happening here is that people, I guess your family members, are trying to funnel me into going after the money. But they want it because I'm not doing it at a time and pace that they'd like. They're finding loopholes in the system to have me detain and lose time of doing things that I'm good at. For instance, I make comics, right? I make comics, I make storyboards. I just do a bunch of things. I do a bunch of things, right? And right now, what they're doing is they're, I guess, gaslighting certain areas of my life. Like, for instance, I was speaking to my grandmother today. It's the 25th of July. And she said that my parents went and took my clothing. I don't know why they would take my clothing, and then they brought it back to the house in Brampton. And that doesn't make any sense because from January to July, I wasn't allowed back at the house because they said I'm a, I'm a danger, and I'm endangering my sister's life by being at the house. My sister's 10 years younger than me, so she's 16, or she's turning 16 in August, so she's 15 now. She's not an adult, so if I were to go back to the house, she's not an adult, she can't move out. I'd be endangering her life. Now, it doesn't make sense to me, because, like, there's a lot of things in this life that are trying to, like, I guess, either slow me down or just take away from the things I like to do. So, like, me not creating art, me not creating comics, graphic novels, me being academically God. You know, people are saying, okay, look, we made God stop writing books. I don't think it's a matter of that. And it's like a challenge that's uninvited because it's a challenge that's grounded on gossip and invasion of privacy. That's what this challenge is. It's like, I hate to say it, it's like someone being raped and then being told to fend for themselves after they become raped. If that makes sense. Like, for instance, someone gets raped and someone after that someone's telling you, okay, now it's time for you to become sexy, you know. Um I think that's what it is, and I hate to put it like that because obviously, as a man, I think people are just gonna say, okay, like you should be a lot stronger, you should be defending women, but even with what's going on, it's rumors like it changes the whole identity of the world, really, like you know, and people are trying to fish you into certain umbrellas or certain labels, I should say. Like, for instance, people want to fit you into the Malcolm scenario. You know, there's so much going on, like especially with Black Lives Matters and things that you need to learn that you know just because of your genetic disposition, you shouldn't be thrown into these labels or these scenarios, right? So, and it's odd because even as I speak about these things, I could be being recorded right now through, hospital lens or infrareds, anything really. But as I've said, I'm just going to use the tools that I have. Obviously, I could say there's certain injustices, but, you know, you just have to do what you can uh, with what's happening now. Um, but yeah, like as I was saying, it's a little odd. So they took my clothes, or I spoke to my grandmother and she told me that they took my clothing. She also told me that the bicycle that I bought, it got moved or it got stolen. So, it's a weird thing. It's like people want to challenge you, but it's like, okay, they want, like, I don't even understand. Do people want to murder me? Like, where this gossip has went is extremely unbearable now, because now not only did this gossip spread, it ruined your employment. It ruined my employment. It also ruined uh, my financial problems. It's ruining my business or economical relationships, because right now, because I live in Toronto, people seem to want to force you to speaking to Drake somehow. Like, I have a tracking beacon on Drake. Like, yeah, that would be nice, but I don't know Drake like that. like as an artist, he's an artist I respect and I would like to compete with one day if I have the opportunity to make music. But like just to just I don't know, just to run up to his doorsteps and be like, hey man, I know you know Jay Z, I know you know this guy. Here I got a painting, let's like, be the UPS guy or be the FedEx guy. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And like, yeah, there are some upsides and downsides to all this. Like, okay, it gives you some motivation to work, but it's also endangering your life. And it's like to order your life properly now because where the world is going, I think it's gonna go not into chaos, but it's gonna go into disorder because now people are gonna be chasing that ideal of okay, let's have a kid with every single woman, and then there's also the ideal of okay, um, you know, finances. Like, how are employers going to approach this now? Especially with genetics. Like, I'm guessing nothing is gonna change, but at the same time, you have to consider okay, as an individual, that had no say, like in you know this rumor, this wildfire, because that's what it is. I'm no firefighter, but this is it's just turning into a wildfire. And like at the end of it, I feel like it's a bit of childishness because with your parents involved, I feel like they're trying to take responsibility over your life at 26. At 26, mind you. So I don't know when the shackles of parenthood change or get out there, but it's a little difficult and it's a little embarrassing, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna say I'm a little disappointed in how everything's turning out because to have a normal life, it's like now people are trying to force you into law, into legal issues. It's like, you know, how easy is it to be funneled into different areas? Not that I wouldn't like to be, but it's like I have plans for my life, and even as a time technician, and the abstracts of time being disposed to fragmentation where people are able to observe and understand who you are, and that being channeled into a large fabric of life and reality. It's a bit difficult right now. It's a bit difficult just because now people can alter certain periods in time and space, and now they could alter your scenario where you could possibly die, but that's because of gossip. That's because of there's a fire. Like when you think about, I don't have any markers, but